It's finally here. After what felt like an eternity, the Super Mario Bros. Movie has finally been released. Going into the theater, I was extremely excited. It was easily the most hyped I've ever been for a movie. I wasn't expecting it to be a good movie, but I was expecting it to be a fun time, and it definitely was. But was it a good movie? You'll have to watch this video to find out. Right away, the critics were slamming the movie with negative scores, and yeah, I'm not really surprised. This movie is for the fans of families through and through. If someone who has never touched the games or knows nothing about the franchise were to watch it, I really doubt they would like it. Anyways, the critics' score really means nothing, as the audience score is way more reliable to the quality of the film. But who really cares about the critics' score other than headlines? They like Star Wars Episode 8. They have no idea what they're talking about. Except for this movie reviewer. Subscribe. Now this is going to be a relatively spoiler-free review with some slight spoilers at the end, as this movie really isn't a movie you can spoil. First, I want to talk about what easily had the most attention before release, the voice cast, especially Mario being voiced by Chris Pratt, and he's not bad. I think everyone was expecting that he would just end up sounding like his normal self, but after a few minutes you get used to it. And now the redesign did take a bit of time to get used to, but since we had the trailers for quite a long time, I was already adjusted. And I'm really glad they ended up doing a redesign for Mario, as I was pretty sick of seeing the same ones with slight changes since 2002. Now onto some characters I don't have much to say about, so I'm going to group them together and talk about them in rapid style. Luigi sounds exactly what you would expect him to, and his design has minimal changes. What really sucks is he's barely in it. If you've seen the trailer, you've seen a good chunk of his scenes, which is a huge shame as the movie is at its absolute best when it's Mario and Luigi interacting. I wouldn't blame anyone if they forgot he was even in it after leaving the theater. But when he is on screen, the dynamic between the Mario Bros is fantastic. There's a flashback of Mario and Luigi as babies. It's just like Smosh Babies! Peach is the character that had the most changes, and personally I think they all work. I love the redesign because she looks like an actual human now, opposed to whatever this is. Toad was good, the performance was great, and he was in the movie the right amount. Never too much to be the annoying side character, or too little where I forgot he existed. Now there is one other Toad in the movie that was briefly shown in the trailers, this old man Blue Toad, a part of the Toad Council, and why is he not Toadsworth? He already acts like an advisor to Princess Peach, so it'd be an easy fit, because as it stands, instead of getting the lovable Toadsworth, we get this terrible know-it-all nerd. I don't even know his name, looks like a Sheldon. He's not even a real character. He's a Mario movie OC, Do Not Steal, who looks like he smells like stale farts. They should have taken this dork out of the movie because I hated him. Did Nintendo kill Toadsworth? But there is one more character that I disliked a lot more. A character that I loathe. But before we talk about the upcoming cretin, it's time to talk about... And yes, they do the DK rap very briefly, and it's as awesome as you think it would be. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong was kind of just eh. It works well enough, but I really do hope they touch up the voice before making the rumored DK spin-off movie. He definitely acts a lot more childish than I expected him to be. But I still wouldn't say I hated the iteration of the character. I'm going to have to watch the movie again to form my complete opinion on it. Okay, now onto the previously mentioned terrible, and I mean terrible character. Cranky Kong is an absolute abomination, and I hated every single frame he was on screen. His voice, it's so bad! He sounds and acts nothing like Cranky Kong, and every line he said either gave me secondhand embarrassment or was pointless. I kept thinking, when is this stupid monkey gonna shut up? Looks like he got the wrong mushroom. I can visually see that. The blind person next to me can see that. Just shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up! Going from the absolute worst to the very best, like no one ever was, is Jack Black's Bowser with built-in twerking functionality. Bowser is undoubtedly the funniest and most charming character in the movie. This is the one character that they completely nailed and hit out of the park. One of my favorite parts of the movie was when Bowser's army is showed and the camera pans up to reveal the Koopa Troopas rocking the guitar. Down in Fraggle Rock style, Party Central, and Bowser is a rock master. There was also a blue shell turtle on the poster that had a lot of us excited to see who he was, and well, the character isn't explored much at all. He kinda hates Mario a lot for no reason. Like, Bowser hating Mario for no reason makes sense, but come on, blue turtle guy. They didn't even say his name. Looks like a Sheldon. Come on, Sheldon. You have no reason to be this angry. Go get some anger management classes. I'm concerned. You have no reason to try to murder Mario. What did Mario do to make Sheldon so mad? So that's all the main characters covered in the movie without any spoilers. Okay, but where was Jeffy? The movie is fluidly animated with a crazy amount of work in each shot. The top tier animation of Illumination Studios. It's super colorful and all around just a hunka hunka. The remixes of Mario songs were all great. There wasn't a single one I disliked during the movie. There were also a lot of old 80s songs, and although some people might not like them, I honestly did. I thought it was a good break from all the Mario music. Admittedly, it didn't fit the tone of the movie at all, but Bowser with Thunderstruck is genius. I Need a Hero during the training montage was fun, and Mr. Blue Sky was in it, because, well, of course it is. At this point, I'm more surprised when it's not in the movie. On to some more positives. There's a boatload of references that aren't forced or in your face. When the digital version of the movie is released, I can guarantee there's going to be over hour-long Easter eggs you missed videos. They even made Mario's catsuit power-up work in the movie. His catsuit is one of the Mario power-ups that's a bit more on the weird side, and well, cringe. So it's nice to see they managed to pull it off. Now on to some negatives. The movie is way too fast-paced. I enjoy movies with fast pacing, but this one is just a non-stop rush. They take almost no time to explore areas that I wanted to see a lot more of. As soon as they actually embark on the adventure, the movie goes way too fast. The characters get very little amount of time to actually interact with each other, which leaves most of them very surface level. It's not like I expected the Mario movie to have deeply written characters, but I was hoping for a bit more. They don't ever let up on the gas, even though the movie's runtime would have let it. Like, I want to see more of Yoshi's Island, but it just flashes by in a montage, and I'm left disappointed. It really does feel like a video game more than a movie, which could be a positive or negative thing depending on how you look at it. It's not a positive, but you can pretend it is. They don't walk anywhere, they just cut from one place to the next, as if there was a level of the game in between and you're only watching the cutscenes. The humor was pretty standard kids movie stuff, except the previous mentioned Bowser. I don't really mind this though, as it's never obnoxiously repetitive. A negative that isn't the movie's fault, but the marketing's. If you've seen the trailers, you've seen a majority of the movie. There are a few surprises, but they showed way too much in the trailers. If it sounds like I dislike this movie, I don't. I enjoyed it. The problem is, they're trying to shove 2 hours worth of content into a 90-minute movie, which leaves the pacing feeling as if they're rushing through it. I want to see more of this world, as it looks fantastic. But we're left at a very surface level of exploration. Small spoiler warning. Yoshi isn't in the movie, which sucks. I wanted Yoshi. Like, everyone knows Yoshi's egg is on the top of Peach's castle, so Mario could have just jumped up, yahooed, grabbed the egg, and now we have Yoshi. But no, Nintendo killed Yoshi too! I plan on going to see the movie for a second time before it leaves the theater. And I think this is definitely a movie that gets better on a rewatch, as now I'll be able to catch more of the Easter eggs and have a chance to revisit all the areas the movie zoomed past. If you're a fan of Mario, like me, the movie's a must-see, but if you've never played a Mario game and have no attachment to the franchise, I would skip this one. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Mario movie. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about it. I also made a video about an old Japanese Mario movie that you can check out if you want. And I also plan on making a video about the future of Nintendo movies, so subscribe and good night.